Have you ever spent time in jail? So what?
I've never been in jail, and it was my decision to be there. No one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club.
Have you ever been in jail? Katt Williams said he was there by his own decision, a tiny man with the energy of an entire theatre, a stage phenomenon born from the darkest corners of America. A small guy, just 5'5", with messy curly hair and a blazing red suit, yet he carries the energy of an entire theatre. Katt Williams is not just an ordinary comedian. He's a stage phenomenon, talented enough to stand beside Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle. He filled stages that most performers only dream of touching. But that glory collapsed so fast no one had time to blink. Just a few years after reaching the top,
It's all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed.
Katt plunged into a storm so chaotic it shook all of Hollywood. We're talking about punching a teenage boy in broad daylight, getting cuffed in a Walmart parking lot, and lawsuits so bizarre they sound like jokes, yet they sit in real court records. What dragged a comedic genius from the peak straight into the abyss so quickly? This is the story of a man who had it all, then watched everything fall apart. Micah Sierra Williams, born on September 2nd, 1971, in Cincinnati, Ohio. He grew up in a small house on Jack Street during a turbulent era. Violence was rising, and the gap between rich and poor was widening. His mother, Brenda Louise, was a disciplined Jehovah's Witness teacher. His father, John C. Williams, was an intellectual journalist with a military sense of order. It was a stable, quiet household, yet it raised one of the most rebellious and sharp-witted children in the neighborhood. Even in elementary school, Katt stood out. He was so small that people thought he was 6 years old when he was already 10. Tiny body, baby face, but a mind far beyond his age. At just 7, Katt could memorize adult conversations, analyze them, and snap back with lines that left his entire classroom stunned. He saw people smashing bottles right in front of him. He watched a drunk man collapse in the street and never wake up. He was once even chased by police who mistook him for a kid courier for local dealers. But those years taught him something no classroom ever could. A stand-up comedy genius was being forged by the streets, not by a school stage. At 12 years old, Katt quietly ran away from home. Years later, he said he left with exactly $5 in his pocket, a pair of jeans, a t-shirt, and a sharp mind that believed he could survive on his own. And strangely, he did. Katt drifted from state to state. He slept in abandoned buses and storage rooms. He waited tables, washed dishes, and sold things on the street, any job that paid. But most importantly, he began stepping onto stages, holding a microphone, and telling stories. He performed at his first open mic at just 13, a tiny kid in front of drunk adults inside dim bars. Yet every line he dropped made the whole room erupt in laughter. That night, he earned $30, the most money he'd ever held. More importantly, he realized his voice was his power. By 14, Katt was a full-time street performer, even lying about his age to enter clubs. He was quickly moving from cheap bars to America's stand-up beast. In rundown bars across Florida and Ohio, a night of just talking paid Katt maybe $20 to $30, but each night he performed, his audience grew. By 17, he was no longer a kid telling jokes for fun. He was performing regularly, earning $200 to $300 a night, a huge amount for a teenager with no diploma or family backing. Then, his first real opportunity appeared: Bet ComicView. In 1999, Katt stepped onto that stage, the birthplace of legends like Steve Harvey and Cedric the Entertainer. He had a suit pulled tight around his small frame and eyes sharp enough to dissect the entire world. Just 6 minutes on stage, and Katt boosted that week's rating by nearly 20%. Hollywood began paying attention. In 2002, Ice Cube called Katt for Friday After Next. His role was Money Mike, with less than 30 minutes of screen time. But when the film hit theaters, audiences weren't talking about Ice Cube or Mike Epps. They were talking about the small man in a red suit, walking with swagger and firing off razor-sharp lines, Katt Williams. One supporting role was enough for Hollywood to understand. Put Katt in the frame, and he will steal all the light. If you're enjoying this journey through the chaotic rise and fall of a comedy legend, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. It truly helps out the channel. The night that turned Katt into a legend was in 2006. HBO, the network that produced specials for Carlin, Chappelle, and Chris Rock, gave Katt a rare privilege, his own special, The Pimp Chronicles Panzer 1. That night, America witnessed a phenomenon. HBO comedy ratings jumped nearly 40%. The green carpet story became a national meme. His post-special tour brought in $20 to $25 million, and Katt's nightly pay skyrocketed to $50,000 to $70,000. He was second only to Chris Rock and Dane Cook at the time. In 2007, he achieved the impossible with his independent DVD, American Hustle. No major studio backing, no massive marketing push, yet he sold over 1 million copies, going platinum. This transformed Katt from a stage phenomenon into a premium entertainment brand. By 2010, Katt was a pop culture icon, voicing characters in Grand Theft Auto 4 and appearing in films like Norbit and Scary Movie 5. He became the face of urban comedy, sharp, clever, and irreplaceable. But behind the bright lights, darkness began to spread. Scandals, lawsuits, and minor conflicts started to pile up. Katt Williams was falling apart. November 9th, 2008, Atlanta. After a show, Katt was at a steakhouse. An Atlanta businessman named Marion Powers claimed Katt grabbed a liquor bottle and smashed it into him, causing him to bleed. But 5 witnesses told a different story. They said Powers repeatedly insulted Katt, mocked his career, and even touched Katt's shirt first. The reaction was instant: an overturned table, shattered glasses, and police called. The next day, Powers filed a lawsuit demanding $3.6 million. Katt's response to TMZ was just one short sentence: "Someone wants to push me over the edge." That case was the first domino to fall. In 2012, an explosion came from within his inner circle. His own bodyguard, Noel Power Hollingsworth, filed a civil complaint demanding $5 million in damages. Noel alleged that after refusing an illegal work request, members of Katt's team forced him into a garage and physically assaulted him while Katt was present, failing to intervene. Katt's side immediately denied everything, calling it a fabricated story for extortion. The case settled privately, but Hollywood was chilled. What was happening in the shadows? Then came the assistant incident. In 2011, personal assistant Melissa Ishmael sued Katt after an alleged confrontation in a hotel room. She claimed Katt became tense and lost control, blocking the door. She ended up in the hospital with a split lip and panic symptoms. Katt denied locking the door, but quickly settled the case privately for an estimated $250,000 to $300,000. When an insider assistant walks away by filing a lawsuit, it's always a sign that something inside has cracked. Late November 2012 in Sacramento. Katt was in a fragile state, cancelling shows and constantly making headlines, but no one expected his next scandal to happen in a Target store. According to police reports, Katt began arguing with 19-year-old employee Dwayne Hersey. Witnesses offered conflicting stories about who started it. Then, in half a second, it exploded. Katt lunged forward and threw a punch straight at the employee's face. In a surreal scene, Katt ran out of the store, jumped onto a 3-wheeled cart, and sped across the parking lot. The viral video blew up instantly. Target permanently banned Katt from all 1,700 of their stores. America understood his downward spiral had only just begun. The incident that stunned the entire country happened on a soccer field on March 23, 2016. Katt showed up alone in Gainesville, Georgia. A 17-year-old named Luke Wash started throwing provocative comments. The teenager's phone camera started recording. Katt threw a punch, but Wash, with the reflexes of a street athlete, quickly grabbed Katt, slammed him onto the grass, and pinned him down. The comedian who once sold out tours was taken down by a kid. The clip went viral, becoming the symbol of the most chaotic era of his life. For years, articles and lawsuits piled up. The Walmart gun incident, the rental house raid for minimal marijuana, and the bizarre $59 million lawsuit in 2020 that was quickly dismissed. Katt Williams was arrested over 18 times and sued more than 30 times over 2 decades. Yet the strangest part is that most accusations fell apart, lacking evidence. As Katt himself once said, "I'm not the problem. I'm the one they want to silence." After 2016, the media believed he was finished, but Katt was different. He turned collapse into a weapon. Late 2016, he began performing again in small clubs to test new material. People came out of curiosity but left with the same reaction. Katt still had the fire, sharper than before. By 2018, Netflix invited him to film the special Great America. It was praised for its maturity. No more out-of-control antics, just cold, sharp comedy. That same year, Katt shocked audiences with his heavy, vulnerable role as Uncle Willie in Donald Glover's Atlanta. The performance earned him the 2018 Emmy for Outstanding Guest Actor, proving he was a serious actor. From that foundation, the industry slowly welcomed him back. Today, Katt is back in the top ranks. The tour after his 2022 Netflix special, World War III, sold out in dozens of cities, bringing his income back to the millions. His net worth sits around $10 to $12 million, a triumph for a man buried under thousands of jokes at his expense. Behind the razor-sharp punchlines, the private life of Katt Williams is complex and surprising. He was married once and has one biological son, Micah Williams, an actor known for Good Luck Charlie. Katt once called Micah the reason I didn't give up. His most surprising role is as a father. Katt has a total of 10 children, including 9 adopted from unstable, abusive, and foster care backgrounds. He raised them without turning it into a PR stunt. In the public eye, Katt is confrontational, but at home he is a patient, gentle father who drives them to school, attends parent-teacher meetings, and checks homework. Katt Williams' comeback wasn't luck. It was real talent, real endurance, and a will that chaos could not destroy. He doesn't have a smooth career, but that imperfection is exactly what makes him a rare symbol. Someone who lives truthfully, refuses to bow, misunderstood, but unbroken. If you believe Katt Williams is an unbroken talent, hit the like button right now. Do you think Katt Williams is a misunderstood genius or a flame that simply burns itself out to shine? Share your thoughts with the Fame Game community in the comments below. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so every new video reaches you first, and we can keep unlocking these hidden Hollywood stories. We've still got so much more to explore. Feel free to dive into one of our top recommended videos now appearing on your screen.